This is Coffee Talk Tuesday. And I'm Shelley Stevens, and I am here with Trip Mitchell.
You got it right?
I did. Of course I did.
But you know, you are a pro. You looked right at the camera.
Well, because I've done this once or twice before.
That's the one that's filming you.
Hi.
Gotcha.
This is going to be a fun show. Are you ready for this, Chris?
Chris would like to be getting out now. He's burrowing a little hole under the table.
So this is actually our second show that we've filmed here at this studio. And I'm super excited that Trip is our co-host now. My co-host, I guess. I can take ownership of my show.
But 3 minutes ago, you weren't feeling that way.
Well, you know what? It's fine. One day I'm going to be licking my fingers from ranch too. So it's fine.
Is that something I haven't heard of?
Anyway, we are here with our guest.
Licking your fingers from ranch?
That's what you were... Anyway.
Go ahead.
With Chris Kano, and he's our guest today. He has been my friend for...
Guest is another word for hostage.
in this instance. I'm sorry if you regret your decision.
We'll see how it is at the end of the show.
We'll see how it goes. But the reason why I have invited Chris on today is because he is an incredible photographer. And I saw him when he first started taking pictures and have followed him on his journey through photography. And I wanted to just like hear, I want to hear your story of why did you first want to, like, what inspired you to start taking pictures, and then tell us a little bit about now what you take pictures of and what you're passionate about.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot.
That's a 7-part question. Go ahead. Start.
All right. Well, we'll have to go way back. I've always wanted to take pictures. I always wanted a camera. I've been an artist my whole life, and I was always interested in doing photography, but I could never afford a nice camera. So
Stealing a camera was out of the...
yeah, that
okay,
wasn't
good.
happening. But we had lots of point and shoot cameras at the house, and so I would use those and take pictures every once in a while, but nothing major. And I don't know, I started documenting life around me when I was probably 20, or let's see, 19. And I would take a roll of film every month and take pictures of where I was at. And
Were you shooting color or black and white?
a color. Yeah.
Black and white is pretty cool for art photography, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's amazing stuff.
Yeah. That's actually what he does mostly now. But you're talking about like way back when they had like the film
this
like
been
you.
In,
Wait.
this would have been 90. Yeah, 1990.
Does anybody remember?
92, around there, I started taking more pictures.
You remember that?
I'm sorry, check please.
I remember that too.
Well, there was a camera called the Instamatic Camera, which you didn't even have to load film. You loaded a little cartridge, and you put it in, and it was horrible photography. I mean, it was not a great medium, but anyone could take pictures, and Kodak was on top of the world, and then all of a sudden things changed. And digital now,
oh yeah,
it's too easy.
Digital was a game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely an art to do film, because there's a lot to it. But digital's nice. You can see exactly what you've done right there, and you have an idea of what you captured. And
So, Chris, what type of art do you do? What do you love from an art standpoint?
I've dabbled in just drawing, and I did some oil painting for a while. What other things have I done? Bone carving for a while. I haven't done that in a few years.
Did you ask the person before you started? You had permission and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. How is it to make a living as an artist in this town?
I couldn't make a living as an artist.
It's a tough town in that regard.
Yeah, that's why I do what I do for a regular job.
What do you do for your regular job?
I do telecommunications.
Okay. That's kind of what this is, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, not really.
No.
I work on like telephone systems.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it.
So program them.
But it's nice to know when you're doing your day job that you have. So for a lot of us, this is our hobby, and some it's full time. But it's nice to know that you have something artistic when you go home at night.
Oh yeah.
To take your mind off and do that.
Yeah, and what I've liked about it the most is that it's something that I can take anywhere I want to go, and I can capture something anywhere. So very little limits in what I can do.
So if you were to take a picture of anyone in this room, okay, you've got the lovely Lee, Chris, myself, and what's her name? Who would be the best subject? Probably me.
I'm thinking the beard.
Okay. Lee used to do Amish drive-bys. You know how they sounded? Boom. That is the worst joke in the world.
That is the worst joke in the world.
I know. I'm sorry.
Lee is our camera guy. For those of you who don't know, he's amazing. It's shaking.
There's no question. But finding subjects is the big part of what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
And people just we had a guest yesterday who plays, I'll show you a picture, who plays Santa Claus. And he has got the greatest personality ever. He's not heavy set enough, but he's got the white beard and the greatest ho-ho-ho. And he loves being with kids, especially kids who are in tough situations. And he feels that the joy in his life, very successful guy in his regular job, but going out and being Santa is something that makes his life wonderful. He would be a great subject. But you probably see him. How do you talk to someone, say, hey, I'm a fine art photographer, and you'd be a great subject?
He actually had the reason why I brought him on is because he has a very unique thing that he does with his photography.
What is it?
I take pictures.
Wow.
See?
We'll be back after this short break.
I do street photography. So basically wander the streets, Salt Lake, and just take pictures of people, candid shots of them doing everyday things.
So you're going to give some to Lee so we can throw these up?
Sure.
You're going to email some pictures? Yep. So we're getting a chance to look at some of your work right now through the magic of television. How do you find, is it just, you just feel something for that person?
Yeah, I just kind of walk the streets.
Do you ask permission?
No. Every once in a while I may ask
Call my
permission
attorney.
for someone, but yeah, most of the time no. Just because I want to capture like something
Who makes
real.
your best subjects?
That's a good question.
Well, that's kind of why I'm here.
I don't know. I like I like sometimes parents and kids, like a father holding the hand of a child, or having the child on his shoulders, or a mom kind of taking care of her kid.
What's the best spot to do that? Parks?
I guess I usually don't go to the parks very much. I usually stick to downtown Salt Lake, and like the fountain at City Creek is usually a pretty good place, or kind of around Temple Square area.
That's fantastic. And where can we see some of this besides on the TV right now?
So I've got two different Instagram accounts that I keep track of my pictures that I take and just post.
So by the way, I don't want to brag, but I have a huge following along with our guest yesterday. We have 301,000 followers.
Wow.
For me and Albert the cat. And the cat has 301,000 of those.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Me too.
This cat has 301,000. I mean, just insane. How many followers do you have?
So on my main one where I post most of my street photography, I think I have 753.
So let's plug it right now. How do people find this?
So it's Photog Cano. So PHOTOGCANO.
Okay.
And
fantastic.
It's on Instagram. So Instagram.
Yeah, one of my regrets in life is that I didn't take pictures throughout all my life, and I really wish I had, because you do cool stuff, and it's gone. It's a memory. They're great memories,
Yeah.
and people, and when you have a good camera and you do it, it's just so fulfilling.
That's one of the greatest things that love that Chris has helped me with. Like, he came over to build his portfolio and everything, and just took pictures of me and my kids, and we were making banana splits. And then we went over and played in the park. And my daughter, her little friend, was moving away to Atlanta. And that was like her last night with her. And so she got all these fun pictures of her and her bestie and just us all hanging out. It was so much fun. And actually, some of the pictures that he took, I'm using in my book.
Really?
Yep.
That's fantastic. So, what's she paying you?
Have you? Friendship.
So did you get a chance to look around our studio here?
I looked from the door into this room.
So we have a photographer, Brian, who it's kind of an artist co-op here. And he does some really amazing stuff. And I'm so jealous of people like yourself or Brian who have those skills, because you can create something magic.
Are those the pictures that are outside on the wall? Yeah, those were pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of amazing. So you're very lucky to have that skill. Have you stopped bone carving?
Temporarily.
Okay,
if I had
good.
a studio, I'd do it.
So there are a lot of cool artist studios around. Have you looked at going in? So
I haven't.
There's one right downtown, right off Market Street, kind of a little bit wet. Well, it'd be Pioneer Park. It's right by Pioneer Park,
okay,
where artists have just small studios they rent for a couple $100 a month, and it's a chance for really creative people to spend time together and kind of rev off each other. And when this place is great, when everyone's here, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because people like yourself are great to be around.
It's true. Yep.
So.
Yeah. Well, he has something that he does that's a little creepy, though, besides bone carving.
I was going to say, if that's what you're talking about, that's pretty creepy. I'm not going to... Is that a tease?
No, it should be, huh?
Yeah. Before we come back, we'll find out
we
why our guest is even creepier than your co-host. So it was funny. Lee just held up the time, and it was in the smallest type in the history of the world. Both of us are grabbing binoculars. Could you just yell it out?
It was 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. Oh, we've got a few minutes to go.
We do have it.
But we'll get that done before we come back. But so when you're out finding subjects, have you ever had any people complain and say, "Hey, why are you taking pictures of us?" Or do you do it in kind of an unobtrusive manner?
I have some techniques that I use to try and avoid confrontation.
Have you ever had a confrontation?
Yes.
So someone was in the witness protection program and you're shooting them.
No.
What happened?
Yeah, I was driving and I was taking pictures out my car window.
Nothing could go wrong there. And you driving and taking pictures. I mean,
yeah.
Who's your insurance company?
And there was a person next to me. I took their picture, and all of a sudden she started following me.
Really?
And she followed me all the way downtown until she could get right next to me and rolled down her window and started getting after me. And I'm like,
so what did Holly say? No, actually, Holly, the woman I do the TV show, if you're going to take her picture, she would have been happy. It just would have taken an hour and 12 minutes in makeup. It is truly amazing. But in that situation, though, people could think that you're private eye, or I mean, who knows?
yeah, I'm sure they could think whatever they want to. But
Yeah. Have you had some funny ones where you've taken someone's picture?
Oh.
And it worked out pretty funny, and it worked out to your advantage, or...
And most people are pretty cool. If they see me taking their picture, they usually smile. What's the best is when I'm taking someone's picture, kind of being candid about it, but they saw me, and they make a face, and I don't notice it until later when I'm developing my pictures, and I'm going through them, and I'm like, oh, yeah. He saw me, and he's making a face at me.
Yeah, that was yeah. So what has to be weird is these things.
Yeah.
So during the winter, I'm a host up at Snowbird. And part of what I do, a lot of, is take people's pictures. And we have a company that does that on the mountain, and they have great photographers, and they do an amazing job, but they charge $40. And I can take their phone and shoot it, and the quality of pictures, especially now the Apple, they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
How's that? Is that made your business better by people thinking they're good photographers, and maybe when they see a real pro like you, being intrigued by it, or what is the effect of having tens of millions of pictures taken every day, where in the old days that wouldn't be the case?
I don't know. I think it's kind of a good thing. People get out there and take pictures. I mean, we're documenting life and capturing a moment, and I'm all for that. With whatever you have, use it.
Yeah.
Camera phone, an old camera. You know, I think it's good.
Yeah, and if you could have any old camera in a Leica, what would be the camera you?
A Leica.
That was good. By the way, Chris is a photographer, and as Lee, that's the only camera I could come up with in my mind. I got really
sound really good.
Didn't it sound really smart?
It did sound really smart.
Yeah, if I had said Polaroid for the other camera, would that have been bad? So,
all right. Well, when we come back, we're gonna find out the creepy thing Chris does. All right, welcome back to Coffee Talk Tuesday. My name again is Shalise Stevens, and I'm here with my co-host Trip Mitchell. And
you're reevaluating that, are you?
No, actually, I needed some spice for my show, and you're spicy.
Yeah.
It's usually what people say about me, so I mean that's pretty.
It's an acquired taste, and Pepto-Bismol is a sponsor of ours.
Well, you know what? Maybe that'll bring us in a new audience. Because my 7 followers that I have.
People will use this as foreign language training for English. So, Chris, you were going to tell us something creepy that you do.
Oh, I was?
Yes, you were.
I don't know. Which creepy thing do I do?
Well, if you have to say which creepy thing, that's... The last guy in the entertainment business to say that was named Harvey Weinstein.
Oh. Well, what I was thinking was the first Halloween that I remember, like that Chris and I were friends, he walked in as a clown.
Oh.
And not just like a clown, but a clown. And I think we need to show this picture up on the screen.
Not
Chris,
just a clown, but a clown.
A clown with blood.
Oh.
And go ahead. Tell about your character.
So, it's got like a really messed up clown makeup that looks like it's been worn for a while, and it's been a rough day of clowning.
And did a child get pissed at you?
And, there might be an apron with something written in blood on it, like free hugs.
That is creepy on a level that. Mm-hmm. That is. Now, are you single?
Yes, I'm very single.
How have you thought about maybe not wearing that costume on a blind date?
I use it to keep myself single.
Okay.
I've been married once. I'm not doing that again.
How'd that work out for you? Well,
So,
I just got married, and
Good luck.
3 months have been great. That's 90 full days.
hey, and once you do something for 90 days, it becomes a habit.
That's 2,243 hours as of right now, but who's counting? She doesn't watch anything I do. I'm safe.
You're safe. That's good.
She's smart.
Yeah, she actually finally watched the morning show because she figured she could learn stuff about me. But, you know, we were such a valuable morning show. They took us from 8:30 in the morning to 6:30. Now we're at 5:30. Soon we're going to be at 2:30 in the morning. And in 12 years, we're going to be back to 8:30 at night, and then it's going to be a big show.
Right.
So when you go out dressed as the creepiest human being on the planet, how does that work out?
Yeah, I usually don't go out dressed like that.
Good. Going to Harmon's is a lot easier when you dress like you do now.
On Halloween, I definitely go out and about in that. Most people laugh.
He did a photo shoot at the Salt Flats in that costume, and it was so creep-tastic.
What were you shooting out in the Salt Flats?
I don't even remember. I don't know. I've done a couple of them out there. I've done one with my kids. Because normally I do makeup on Halloween, but not when it's not Halloween. I have this Instagram another Instagram called Scary Clown Travels. And I put this clown mask that I found one year, and I needed a costume, so I developed this character, and we were having fun at this house where I was doing scary poses all over with other people, and it just kind of became a thing. So now
why don't you go work at one of the haunted houses at night? Because it sounds like it would be really fun for you to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
What amazes me in Salt Lake is the fact that Halloween is almost the biggest holiday of the year here.
It's a great holiday.
I mean, Christmas is still #1, but gosh, Halloween, those Halloween stores open up in August now, you know, the costume shops, and it is really a big, big deal here.
Oh, yeah. My birthday's the week before Halloween, so.
And mine is the week after. And I hate Halloween.
Do you?
Yeah, and you know, just some people get into the costume, and
I will dress up anytime I'm able to. I mean, I'm sure that we'll do theme shows. I'm going to make you dress up, and it's going to be so fun.
What I do, just to show if I have to wear a costume, I wear my hockey uniform, which smells like the worst smell on the planet. It's a left-handed way of saying I don't want to dress up. But really, it's amazing to see the kids get so excited. And you have kids, and you have kids. I mean, it's a.
Oh, I get excited, Trip. You don't know me very well. You just wait. Like, I'm all about celebrating every holiday. Every chance I get to like dress up, I will.
I've got one that you didn't celebrate.
What?
Last Monday.
Martin Luther King Day?
What did you do for that?
I actually watched the Hunger Games marathon with my kids.
Wow. I Have a Dream didn't include Hunger Games.
It has a good ending. It has a peaceful ending.
Well, I don't want to say anything, but Martin Luther King's ending was not good. No. So, my parents got a chance to see Dr. King speak about 2 or 3 months before he died. And my brother and I didn't want to go. We were young at the time, but it would have been one of those things where I wish I'd done it. And it was really cool that, and not to get serious here for a second, but he was really rejected by a lot of other African-American civil rights leaders. They thought he was too passive. So some of the more aggressive leaders felt that his course was too, not severe enough to get what African-Americans deserved and got. And so that's really a super important holiday. Unfortunately, a lot of the country observes President's Day in February instead. And
yeah.
I wish we could do more in that regard. Boy, did I just bring the show down.
You really did. But, I mean, to bring it back up,
thank you.
The reason why it was actually really special to me, because I was having just a really bad weekend, and it was just like one of those things, and I was hoping to spend the evening with my kids on Sunday, and we had this game night that I wanted to do, but they ended up staying with their
Cards Against
dad.
Humanity?
Yeah, with my 11-year-old and my 8-year-old. Well, he'll be 8 on Saturday. I know this is actually, we're pre-filming this, so it's going to be a couple weeks already that he's been 8. So, but
is he shaving yet?
No.
Okay, good.
He probably would if I left.
Okay.
But I was just feeling like I wanted to just spend the day with my kids and remember why I do everything I do. So honestly, my dreams coming true all stems because of them. So technically, I just brought that back around and
I've got
celebrated.
a great kids movie for you to see with them.
Okay.
Dolphin Tale.
I've seen it.
Wonderful.
It's really good.
It is so good. I had a bribe. I had an ex-girlfriend who had these two, and they lived with me for 4 years, and they've now Sammy is a sophomore in college, but they were 6 and 8 when they moved into my house, and we would do family movie night on Friday and Saturday nights where the kids, everyone's in the bed, including our 105-pound yellow lab NASCAR, who had a farting problem. And they were silent but deadly. But those nights are the ones that we all remember, and that age is wonderful.
Yeah.
And you look back, and that's probably just incredibly happy. Yeah. Yeah. But to find a movie that the parents love and the kids love. What's your favorite movie in that regard?
Oh, geez. I'm a Disney girl, so I love all the movies that Disney comes out with. But I think the ones that my kids and I really bond on are the Avengers movies. Like, we I am such a nerd when it comes to superhero movies. I geek out over them. We watch them, and those are the movies that I'll watch with them every time we watch them.
Chris, now you're an artist. What do you think of superhero movies?
Most of them are pretty good.
So Martin Scorsese said that they were kind of like popcorn, or, just did The Irishman, an amazing movie. He's considered probably the best director that we've got going. Mm-hmm. When he says that, does it carry extra weight? Do you think that affects, or are superhero movies just kind of part of the fabric of America? And
I think it's just part of the fabric. I think most of us like to look and think that there can be like superheroes and stuff. And
so I am not a superhero fan, but I happened to see Deadpool 2.
Oh my gosh.
That has to be one of the best movies ever made. And then got a chance to see Deadpool. And it was funny because my niece was having a rough time. She's 17 and trying to figure out what she's going to do. And my wife goes, "Can you spend some quality time with Grace?" And I go, "Yeah, no problem." I take her in the other room. We watch Deadpool. Didn't say a word to her, but that...
Yeah, so I love Deadpool. And it came out and I was geeking out. My son was like... And he was 6 at the time, and he's like, "I want to see it. I want to see it." I'm like, "No, you can't see it. It's rated R, and no."
Well,
but he was
the F word is used as a verb, adjective, noun.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, "No, you're too young." But he wanted to be Deadpool for Halloween, and so I let him be Deadpool for Halloween, and he played the cutest little Deadpool. He had no idea who he was, but he rocked it.
Did you give him dialogue?
No, no, he is fine on his own. No. He's a boy. Poo poo pee pee jokes. That's, Anyway, he found out.
By the way, tell him that he will never graduate from those. They will be part of his life.
He found out that Deadpool was coming out and it was going to be rated PG-13.
Oh, that's right. They did a version of that.
And I was the bad mom that let him watch it because he was obsessed, and he absolutely loved it. He laughed at all the jokes. I don't even know if he knew what they meant, but he knew they were supposed to be funny and dirty. And he laughed.
You know what's fun is The Simpsons does that, where they'll have jokes on a couple different levels. So they'll have jokes that appeal to adults, a joke that appeals to people in their 20s and kids, and that's tough writing. But Deadpool, the opening credits kill you.
Oh, I know. It
is so smart funny. And so funny, and I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, I'm all in.
So a friend of mine's daughter starred in the first one, Gina Carano.
Oh.
She was the...
Yeah.
Yeah, and she just did The Mandalorian.
Oh,
where she was in a couple of episodes there.
Nice.
And she was the Mandalorian's best friend, and it's fun to see someone that you know as a kid all of a sudden be a movie star.
Yeah.
And she's not a traditional movie. She's an MMA fighter who turned into an actress, but she's pretty darn good. And that's kind of cool to see.
Well, and that's the other thing that's cool about my kids. Like their dad is an actor and in films and everything like that. And so they grow up with a different perspective on watching movies.
Do they go to set? Have they ever been on set?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is he a good actor?
He's actually amazing. I'm not lying. He's very, very, very good.
What's he been in?
He does a lot of independent films, but he was in Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler. That's probably the biggest one that people would know.
Wow.
And yeah, and he's always working. So he's done so many movies that I don't even keep track anymore. Like, it's just one of those things.
What have you been in?
Oh, I've just done little things here and there. Nothing that you would know.
So I am proud to say, and I've been told this by a casting agent for HBO, I am the world's worst actor.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to do an Evander Holyfield worldwide pay-per-view, and HBO, the guy from HBO said, "We need it. Once you audition, I think you'd be perfect for this HBO movie on..." Boxing was very tangential to the plot, but they needed a boxing announcer for 2 days of shooting. He goes, "You'll be perfect." And I went and auditioned, and the guy goes, "You're terrible." And I literally had just done a worldwide fight. So acting is different than anything else.
Is.
So how do you do in auditions? Do you get nervous as hell?
No. I love it. I love performing. I love speaking. I love pretending to be someone else, and I have a lot of character in me, and so I just pull that out. And
wow.
But with that, we're out of time, Trip.
Chris, have you really enjoyed this last segment where we zeroed into all the things that make you the creep?
Yeah.
We're artists, acting, photography. It's all the same thing.
So will you take some pictures of us? Do you have your camera here?
Yes, I do.
Okay, will you take some pictures of us?
Yeah.
And then we'll post them on the show when we air this. We'll have people vote to see. I think Lee will be the best character. But we'll have people. How do people get in touch with you?
With me?
Yeah, on
with
the show.
us?
Yeah. No, I'm not, trying to have people call you at 11 at night. I'm just saying, is there a...
So they could go to Coffee Talk Tuesdays, Tuesday, not with an S, coffeetalktuesday.com. And you can also email me, Shalise@coffeetalktuesday.com. And that's probably the best way.
Do you want to give your home address out and what door?
That would be.
What days the back door isn't locked?
Hopefully, it's always locked. Now that I know you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Chris, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.